Hey, what's up? It's Matt for 360 Investigations, and welcome to my list of top 10 fake urban explorers, part 1. Yes, there'll be a part 2 and probably a part 3 and 4, but for now, if you're not familiar with what fake urban exploring is, please go back and watch the video that I had made. It's on this channel that explains all about this so you can follow along with this easier. For those of you that already know, let me give you a quick disclaimer before watching this video. First, I am in no means by saying what these people are doing is bad. They need to make money, all the power to you. My complaint is coming from a bunch of other people that we've already talked about that are sick and tired of the community holding these fake people in high regard as they've done some great thing, and then us, people that are legitimately exploring are actually getting ignored or poked fun at because these clowns are passing themselves off as being legitimate when they're not. And yes, you can say that sounds salty, but that's not the point. The point is a ton of us are so sick and tired of this that it's time that this comes out. So I've already talked to several people about this, and we've gotten a list. Now, I'll be giving explanations as well, starting with number 1, the biggest offender of fake exploring, and that is exploring with Josh. Exploring with Josh is so ridiculous and so over the top, he's actually connected to a production crew. His stunts for fake urban exploring range anywhere from going on to movie sets to his crew paying people to go in to printing up fake blueprints, scouting ahead, putting them down, or fake blood, or doing other things, and then actually going to the place and passing it off as not only did he find the place, but he's finding the stuff in the place, which gets him views. Again, not that that's bad if he's got to make him money, but he's been passed off as some great explorer finding the stuff when he's part of a television production crew. He's about as real as the Atlanta Housewives. Next, there are 2 that I'm going to combine, but they are 2 separate ones. Bankz and Steve Rhoden. Bankz is actually connected to the real estate market. I found this out from somebody who actually he had told, and so this came from Bankz himself, that he actually looks up his finds on the MLS listing, which is a real estate market. Basically what Bankz is you can kind of look at him as an explorer, but he's not. What he's doing is he's having house showings of abandoned properties instead of like a auction, going to a house where you see a house auction or, hey, here's a realtor showing a house. He's doing it with abandoned locations for possible investors. He gets his information off of MLS listings, which now brings me to Steve Rhoden. Steve Rhoden is one of the biggest hacks around. He is fed information constantly by everybody, and he doesn't find anything on his own. He's all given information. He's paid people. He goes to places. He pays people, hey, I want to get this on my channel. And because he does this stuff, just like Bankz, people are more apt to give it to him. But he has permission to go to half of these places. That's why he's not legit. Next, I'm going to combine Sam and Colby, Urbex Hill, TFIL, and Urbex and Chill, and Mo Sarge. Those are all different people. They all have the same thing in common, and that is they are using urban exploring and paranormal shit to say, I found dead bodies, we found blood, I found this homeless person, this person got me chased out with this. None of that shit's happening. This is stuff done for clickbait to get them in there, and they're also paying people to go into these places. They're camping out. They're going on some sets. Exploring with Josh has given them some information, and they've helped each other through, so they're not legitimate either. Next are really controversial, but I have my reasons for saying this. This one's going to piss off a lot of people, and that is the proper people. I don't care what anybody says. They're not legitimate. They are not finding these places, and let me explain what's going on. I have information from a very, very reliable source that they use an MLS listing. Either they are real estate agents or they know somebody in the real estate market. Here's how you can tell. Every single one of their places that they do are not only big, but they're in pristine condition that nobody seems to know. This is on a very specialized section of MLS. If somebody says there is a specialized section of MLS doesn't exist, they're lying. MLS has multiple categories. This one is in particular because this is all they do. So either they have access to the real estate market or they know somebody in it who's giving them these locations because these are actually going up for auction. That is why whenever they find them, they get them first. That's how you can tell. And on top of that, I got that information from somebody else. Next is going to piss a lot of people off, and that's Shiey, Shiey. He did the illegal freedom videos. Now, he does train surfing and crosses, Switzerland and, Ukraine or wherever the hell he goes. That's not what makes him fake. What makes him fake is he's staging his chase videos. Not to mention there are people who know what he looks like. If he was actually getting chased, first of all, the countries he's in, he would be arrested, period. Because the government over there is so freaking strict that if they wanted to find out who he was, they would. He can't hide because not only are there people that know what he looked like, but he's getting chased in countries where they don't fuck around with that stuff. If you get caught, you're in fucking prison, period. So it doesn't matter whether you live over there or not, you have a passport or not, you're going to be looked at, you're going to get arrested, period. That is how those governments operate. Next. This one could go either way, but I'll explain what this is. This is kind of like a bonus. This is exploring the unbeaten path. I started noticing a trend with their videos and started investigating it further. And I come to find out, I actually found out that since they're selling merchandise, a lot of the videos that they made saying that they've been sued may be legit, but they're not legitimate in the manner that they're making them out to be. They've gotten fined, and that's about it. So, because they've gone on property and unannounced, because they go into some fucked up places. But, even having been arrested before, these countries that they're in, like Shiey, they would grab them. If they were really in trouble, they wouldn't be putting up videos recently. A lot of them are starting to be staged where they're doing it to get clickbait. Not to mention they are selling the actual fucking calendars that has these places that they supposedly got sued in. There's no fucking way they would be allowed to do that without getting arrested, especially in those countries. Because if you actually go and look up a lot of the case laws and the reading of that stuff, you'll see that the places that they're in and the places that Shiey in don't fuck around. So again, that can be verified by actually looking it up. These places are fucked. They're going into like military and then they're selling these calendars? No. That's a marketing stunt, which is fine if they want to make money. But they're making videos as they're being sued. Or, they've gotten into places that they shouldn't have been. Obviously, urban exploring, you're going to places you shouldn't have been. But the fact of the matter is, you're selling merchandise, calendars, with the fucking pictures from the places you're being sued in. They would arrest them. They wouldn't even be allowed to sell. The shit would be ripped right off because it's pictures of stuff. That would be like me or anybody else going into the NSA, taking pictures and marketing it as a calendar. We'd be arrested. You wouldn't be able to get away with that. So it's really that simple. So, again, Sam and Colby, Urbex, Hill, TFIL, and Exploring with Danny are all exploiting urban exploring to promote paranormal videos, which they don't even fucking belong in the same category. So my point here is that, and this is a message from all of the people that are so tired of this entire urban exploring community, putting these fuckers up front. Fuck you guys. Because you guys have no business passing yourself off as legit when there's people such as myself and a few other, I can't name these people, I'm not going to name them, But we're so fucking tired of you guys taking credit for shit that's ridiculous. And the final thing I'm going to get out of the way for anybody who's watching this. If you have an established channel, I have an established channel. If people are legitimately exploring and I contact them, they should have absolutely no problems saying yes to me. Simply not because I'm being cocky and not because I'm being salty. My point is that regardless of what you think of me, you can't tell me my channel's not legit. I show what I do. There's no question about what I do. Anybody who has no question about what they do, like this, if you contact somebody that's a legitimate explorer, they should have no problems whatsoever contacting you back. Not at least contact you back to say no, or yes, or whatever. But to actually ignore somebody as you're not important enough, has nothing to do with being important. You're sitting there trying to get in bed with these fuckers that are not legitimate instead of actually going with legitimate people. This community is half-assed backwards. And that message just isn't from me. This is from a bunch of people that I've talked to before making this video. So anybody else is trying to say, well, fuck off. Okay, a lot of people are not talking to you guys simply because they're tired of it. So they're actually, like I said, people have contacted me. I've contacted people that we decided, I told them I was going to make this video because enough is enough. And they all thought it was a good idea. So I can actually show you some of these messages, but I'm not going to show you because I'm not going to expose who these people are. And I'm not even going to redact their name. The point here is I don't give a shit if you believe me or not. Other people have contacted me, and we're sick and tired of this. There's no excuse for you fucking trying to pass yourself off as legitimate when you're not. And then there's no excuse for the community to hold fake people in high regard and have some stature of importance, and other people being legitimate as not. This is just as bad as Twitch.tv allowing, people that are Chesty Morgan to get views while the people that are actually working for it are having problems and then get kicked off for stupidity level. That's the nature of the business, but that's my point. Yeah, it's unfair and it sucks, but this shit shouldn't be going on because a bunch of us are sick of it. So that's it. That's my list of top 10 fake urban explorers. There were more than 10, but, and there'll be a part 2. So stay tuned. It's Matt for 360 Investigation signing out. Have a good one.